Hello and welcome. This is Alicia of the Shard and Sign Shack. Give me just a minute here while you're hopping on. I am going to pull up my secondary device so I can read the comments on my other device and not on my phone. Okay, we got you there. So as you're hopping on, please say hello. Let me know where you're coming from. Let's see, swipe, there we go. And if you're new here, please let me know. If you're an old friend, I love reading your comments. Sometimes I don't see them all go by, but I try to, but it's hard to paint and read comments at the same time. But anyhow, welcome again. I am Alicia of the Shard and Sign Shack, and hold on a minute. Oh, there we go. Okay. Something happened to my, oh, that's what we got to do. Okay. I've got you up on my secondary device now, the comments and stuff. So hello, Carol. How are you? Hello, April. Like I said, as you're hopping on, please say hello. My name is Alicia, and I'm the owner of the Shard and Sign Shack, and I am the ambassador for the Stencil Smith, which if you're new to the Stencil Smith, it's this wonderful company based out of Ohio. Hi, Vicki. How are you? Hello, Cindy. And hi, Pam. How are you? I'm glad you could join us. But anyhow, I'm the ambassador, and they're this great company in Ohio. Hello, Bonnie. How are you? And as you're hopping on, hello, Debbie. Please say hello. And if you haven't already, and I'll mention this a couple times during the live, please do this. We call it sprinkled. Make sure you put sprinkled in the comments so you can be added to the live. I think actually Bonnie won our last live, but I'm not 100% correct. I mean, I may not be 100% correct, but it feels like a whole lifetime's gone by since the last live. It's just, I don't know. The older you get, the faster time goes, and all that. I don't know what happens to the time. Thank you, Carol. So this is the giveaway today for the live, which I think is super cute. We're doing some bathroom stuff, which I think is everyday stuff. Everybody has a bathroom. You never know what you have until it's gone. Toilet paper, for instance. So how cute is this? This is really funny. Hi, Judy. How are you? April's sense of humor she cracks me up. You won the coffee bean stencil. Awesome. But her sense of humor is just so fun. So today we're going to do two projects. This will be the giveaway. And like I said, make sure that you comment sprinkled and make sure you sprinkle as well, which means if you do not, sometimes people don't know what that means. It means to do this with that button. We just are not supposed to say it on Facebook. We're doing two stencils today, and the one has several you can choose from. Hello, Tammy. Hi, Donna. These are the numbers. It's 6980, and I'm doing that in a medium. That's going to be the wash your hands one, and then 7140, which is going to be a small. Hello, Stephanie. How are you? And I think what I'm going to do is I'm going to paint. I know some of you know how to do the faux frame, and but anyhow, I should finish this first. I get distracted easily. Today and tomorrow, they're 20% off. If you use my code SIGNSHACK, SIGNSHACK, you save an additional 15% on these particular stencils. And this one here has several to choose from. It's not just one. This is one. And that's today and tomorrow. And then Sign Shack works good with anything else that you order. You save 15% all the time. So I'm going to set this aside. Excuse me. And I'll show you the stencils that we're doing. So we're going to do this. I love this. Wash your hands and say your prayers because Jesus and germs are everywhere. And this is the size medium. This is the one I'm doing. I think this is super. And then we're going to be doing some of these, which is the other one that's on sale today, and there's several of them. And these are a couple. I think I'm going to do, we have Hello Sweet Cheeks. That's super cute. And then we have Nice Butt. Super cute. And then this one, text me if you run out of TP. I know you're on your phone. Hi, Jarita. How are you? So all of these, but I'm only going to do 2. I'm making mine double-sided. I like to switch mine out depending what mood I'm on. I think there's one on there that's like 5 stars. Would poop here again. It says something like that. But there's a couple other ones, and they're really cute, and they fit. I made a box for this. But I think what we're going to do, we'll do the box second. I'm going to paint the faux frame on the wash your hands. Then we'll go to the box, and while that's drying, the paint on that will go back to the wash your hands one, if that makes sense. That way we don't have to waste time drying. And I haven't finished this, but I started this earlier. Focus, Aim, Flush. This is for my grandkids. I've had it for a while. And I have all grandsons, and so this is really, really appropriate for them. So this is going to hang in their bathroom. But I haven't finished it. I have to close the bridges, and I think I'm going to distress it a little and maybe frame it in some black. I just haven't. Yes, the boxes do sell good. Hello, Donna. Pamela said her boxes sell good for her, and that is true. The boxes, I've had really good luck with the toilet topper boxes. So if you haven't made those, they're super easy to make too, and I'll go through that when we do that next. But the first thing, and again, if you're just joining, please sprinkle. This is the giveaway, and to sprinkle means, I've already lost my little block. To sprinkle means to do this. This is the giveaway we'll pull at the end, and make sure you write sprinkled in the comments. So I'm going to set this aside for just a moment. So the first one we're going to start with is this board that I've already painted, and I've painted it black. I'm going to do a faux frame on this. We've done this a couple times on our lives, but we have had several new people that have been messaging me, and I've noticed some new people, so I thought we'd pop out a faux frame since they're pretty easy to do, and it gives you a nice frame look. I thought I'd try that on this project. But this, I'm going to angle this down. This is a 1x12. And I have painted it ahead of time in Fusion Mineral Coal. So this is a 1x12 that's cut about 20 3/4 inches long. And the way I determined it was I just set my stencil. First I picked a 1x10, and then I decided I was going to have the faux frame. So I set my stencil on that. And I saw that I could have a nice size frame around this on the 1x12. So that's how I determined what to use for mine. And I have distressed it just a little bit with my little, I think it's the Gator. I can't remember. This little sander. I love this little guy. My sister got him for me, and he's the bomb. So anyhow, have you ever made a faux frame before? Or have you ever not made a faux frame? Because like I said, I know last couple lives we've had some new people. So to make a faux frame, I paint my base color that's going to be my frame, and you want to make sure you paint your whole board, because one time I was trying to scamp and save on paint, and where I went over here with a little bit of the darker color, and then I painted the lighter color in the middle, even with 3 coats. Hi Bev, how are you? I could see like little parts where it was different. So I recommend painting the whole board in your color. And so I take my tape, my painter's tape, and this is frog tape painter's tape. I have a bunch of it from Sherwin-Williams because we've been doing a lot of painting, lots and lots of painting in the house. I still have 3 more rooms to go, and I'm trying to catch my breath here. I want to have it all done before the nice weather comes, which we've had really nice weather for February in Ohio. Today it's chilly. And I even saw a couple snowflakes. I think there's some people that are getting really bad storms in like along the I-95 corridor and stuff like that. You've never tried this method? It's super easy, Donna. And like I said, I recommend painting the whole color just because you can tell a difference, which I didn't realize. And then I was like, oh, and I had to keep adding more and more layers of white. So you want to paint the whole thing. And you just press it down. I run it along the edge of the wood. Faux frames are really easy. It makes you look like you have the framed picture without a frame. It's a super cool thing to do. And you just want to keep your tape straight. And like I said, I just run it up to the edge. The only thing is I went just a little bit over. I don't want to go that far over. The only thing is it does use a lot of painter's tape, which sometimes you can use it over, but sometimes, you know, when you get a lot of paint on it, like when you're painting this area, it doesn't stick too well. So, okay, so we've got that, and then we're going to do this last piece right here. Get a faux frame out here. You love framing your boards, Judy? 3 inches of snow, Sherry. Where are you? I'm in Northeast Ohio, and we usually, our average winter, we get about, I think it's 120 or 130 inches of snow. I can't remember the exact amount. It's like in that area, and we have had like next to nothing. I mean, we haven't had snow. I know there's some people getting snow today, and like I think New York, Boston, New York City, places like that are getting it, and we're just not getting any. And it seems like this year, whenever they call for the big storms, like they called for a really big one, and of course everybody was out in force, which I don't know why. You know, they think they're going to starve to death or something. You know, get in the bread and milk and all that stuff before the storm. But every time they've called for it, we haven't had anything. It's been a joke. It's been shovelable. Oh, you're still warm, April? See, April's just about, I don't know how many miles, but probably about 2.5 hours south of me. And she's warm. We're cold today. We're 33. It's a little chilly. It's not a spring day here in Sheridan, Ohio. Okay, so you got your tape. You've taped all your edges. And like I said, you're running it up to the edge of your board. That's how you keep it straight. And you want to make sure that that tape is pressed down real good on this edge, because you don't want your paint to seep under there. And I'm going to paint this middle part in white, which I'm using. This was Fusion Mineral Coal, and I'm using Fusion Mineral Casement right now. I'm just going to give it a little squirt. And I've been switching to these honey bottles. Oh no, where's my brushes? Okay, here they are. I was using them earlier. I forgot what I was saying. I lost my train of thought, but that's nothing new. So I'm just spreading it out over the board. And like there, instead of pushing it up this way, I like to come down. Even though it's probably nice and tight, I don't want to chance it. But a faux frame is easy, it's fun. And you could always do, I've done them where I put little borders. April has so many borders. The Stencil Smith has so many cute little borders that, oh, the honey bottles. Thank you, Vicki. I knew somebody would remember what I was talking about. I have no idea. Sometimes, or I look up and I see a question. 46 in Huber Heights. Yeah, you're close to April. That is nice. This is it just is like that. I need to get bigger ones though. These are the smaller ones because the Fusion Mineral paint that I buy is, It's 16.9 ounces in the jar. And so these aren't quite big enough, and I want to get my whole jar of paint in there. But they're much easier to control. I've been using the FIFO bottles, but they really, you don't have as much control with squirtage, if that's a word. I'm not sure if that's a word or not. So I am going to put this, need to spray a little paper towel. I don't know where my wipes are. If you want to keep your brush kind of damp, just spray a little paper towel or use wipes and put it in a baggie in between coats so it doesn't dry out. And I'm going to dry this first coat. And I'll put the second coat on. I think we're just going to need 2 coats. But what I mean, though, about like if you don't paint your whole board underneath, you'll have like edges of black, and then you'd have just your raw board, and it doesn't look right, because I have tried that before. Yes, they make bigger ones, Stephanie. I thought I ordered the bigger ones, and it was just an oops. Yeah, I've heard condiment bottles are awesome. One of my friends, she said she uses just the condiment bottles from Walmart, and she said they work wonderful. 5 inches of snow. Ugh. Hi, Sherry. How are you? Well, you're in time for the drums. You've got plenty of time, Sherry. We're so glad you could join us. And as you know, as you're hopping on, please give us a sprinkle. The prize today, which sprinkle is this, and the prize today is going to be this. You never know what you have until it's gone. Toilet paper, for instance, that's going to be the prize for the drawing at the end. Hi, Sally. How are you? Well, I guess the good thing is, Stephanie, if it's Amazon, yeah, Bonnie, that's true. If it's Amazon, they'll take your returns. That is one nice thing. I go back and forth. I've had Amazon Prime for years, but as any of you know that have it, it keeps getting more expensive and more expensive. And now they've started, they want you to pay an extra $2.99, or they're going to put ads in your shows, which we don't watch a huge lot of things on Amazon, but I go back and forth about like giving up Amazon Prime. But I don't know, I haven't investigated it too much, because I don't know. I read a lot on Kindle. I do have Kindle Unlimited. I don't know if you can do that without Amazon Prime. It's something I have to investigate further. I don't know. But it sure is convenient. Amazon Prime is. I know they're trying the Walmart delivery. I did try that for free. And then I ended up canceling before it was over, because I was ordering groceries and they were forgetting half the order. And it just wasn't a good experience. And it didn't seem like they had as much to offer, too, when you were looking for things online like Amazon does. So I don't know. I'll probably stay with them. Hi, Kathy. How are you? And welcome. So do we have any newbies here today? I know we've had some newbies lately. If we do, please introduce yourself. We're a nice bunch of girls. I don't think there's any men on today, but you never know. Okay, so I'm going to give this a dry, and I think I'm going to have to do one more little light coat. Do you think it's good for the extra $2.99? Well, I have to say, I know at our Walmart, when I am shopping in there and they have the shoppers going around, I haven't seen any teenagers. It's been mostly, I would say, people around my age that I see shopping. But like I was glad I did the free trial. My biggest gripe is the produce. I'll be like, make sure you turn the bag of grapes over. Make sure like they're not rotten and stuff like that. Produce and fresh bread I just think sometimes they pick up whatever. Oh, not in your Walmart? Yeah, in my Walmart, they're all older. From Boise, Idaho. Yeah, I watch a lot of Netflix, April, Peacock. I love Peacock. HBO is really good. I just watched the Barbie movie not too long ago. So did anybody watch the Barbie movie, and what are your thoughts? Because I go between it was funny and it was stupid. I am a Ryan Gosling fan, but I don't know. But Peacock's a great deal. I think that's only like... Yeah, the produce is the thing that's the bad thing. I'm just not sure about the produce. Yeah, it's on HBO. That's why I asked. I know April has HBO. You can't bring yourself to watch it. It's not, I guess it has a good message, but it was definitely strange. Oh, that's good to know, Bev, that they refunded you. Yeah, it was kind of anti-men, but I have to say that by the end, they learned that, like, you know, maybe they weren't treating the men kind of the right way, so I guess lesson learned. Okay, I'm going to do one more quick coat on here because it is white over black. You know, I never watched Highway to Heaven, but I loved Michael Landon. I think he was the one in that show, if I'm not mistaken. I just absolutely loved him. Wrong. Oh, that's good to know, Tammy, that they refund you. That's the second person that said they refund you really easy. I honestly do most of my shopping. If I can get to Aldi, I get everything I can at Aldi first. I love Aldi because I'm in it so quickly, in and out. I know where everything's at, but they just don't have everything, unfortunately. Give my, yes, from the Little House on the Prairie. I loved Little House on the Prairie when I was growing up. Ma and Pa Ingalls. I just ordered, I don't have it out here to show you, but there's a Laura Ingalls Wilder stencil. And I ordered that the other day from the Stencil Smith, but it's not in the ones I'm showing you today. Okay, I think that's good. Now I am just gonna... No, we don't have, I don't even know how to pronounce that. Little? Yeah, I haven't watched Little House on the Prairie in a long time, but I love it. Instacart. Yeah, I did that a couple times, Stephanie, during COVID. I just have a hard time with the produce. Bonanza. While this is drying, I'm going to set this aside, and we're just going to go ahead and do the box. And then we'll come back and do the little framed reveal. So this is the box, and I made this out of common pine. I believe it's a 1x4 and a 1x... Let's see. Yeah, that's a 1x4. That one's 1x4.5. 1x4. I don't know if we ripped this. That must be a 1x5. We might have ripped that. And the ends. Yeah, these are all 1x4s. Oh, that's sweet. She was really, well, thank you, April. I appreciate that. April is the bomb. I can't say enough good things about, like, April and Pete and her service. But anyhow, this is 1x4s, and I believe this is a 1x5 on the bottom. And I've cut them. What I did was I measured my toilet top, and that's what I determined. That's how I determined my size. But I think most are pretty standard. So this is 16 inches. So you have two 16-inch sides, and then two, oh, that would be a fun idea. Two 4.5-inch sides, and then the bottom, you know, you cut to fit in, which is roughly about 14.25 inches. So we cut this up. We just used a nail gun to nail it. It looks rustic. I stained it ahead of time with Minwax Classic Gray and just distressed it a little with sandpaper. I wanted to go for like kind of a little bit of a rustic look. And like I said, I've been using this little guy here. He is awesome. So that's all I did. It's fun to make like the sides of your boxes. Like if you make the sides, the corners, stuff like that, it gives it a really, really nice look. Yeah, that's my problem too, the produce. So anyhow, that's the size of my box. Now these fit these, here, I'm gonna do, I have one already that says Hello Sweet Cheeks, but these are all on sale today. I'm gonna do one side that says Nice Butt, and I'm gonna do the other size that says this, because I like to flip mine depending on my mood. Text me if you run out of TP. I know you're on your phone. And I do want to say something too about these boxes. This size box, they fit all the skinnies, that's what I call them, really good. So like if you wanted a fall box for a centerpiece, the skinnies fit perfectly on here. And you could even add, I put them somewhere, you could make them flat. You could add little, these are from Walmart. These are like little, I think they're called finial caps. You could stain those the same color and glue those to the bottom. And, you know, it would stand up like that. But this is going to be a toilet topper, so I want that to sit flat. But April has just tons and tons of these. Skinnies, you know, these are Christmas skinnies. I got, you know, they're just all kinds of them. I did this one day, but you could make some really pretty seasonal boxes with this type of box to switch out for your centerpiece on your table. So I'll just set these aside, but that's something to keep in mind if you do make one of these boxes. Yes, I'm very picky with my produce too. Well, you pay so much for it too, and you don't want to get like a bunch of, let's see, go like that. So I'm going to stencil on either side of this box, and I'm just going to place it on the box, and I am going to tape it down with my painter's tape. If you're new to stenciling, I would highly recommend, and I'm centering it, just eyeballing it, buying the Stencil Smith brushes. They are a wonderful investment, and they are the best brushes that are out there. I've tried a lot of brushes, and they are just absolutely the best. There we go. Okay, so I'm going to get a little bit of casement out, a little bit of this white paint here from Fusion Mineral, and that's casement, and I'm just going to put a squirt of it on my paper plate. Oh, that's a wonderful idea. Sherry wraps her rolls in tissue paper to go with the season. Yeah, the brushes are amazing. I'm going to use probably not the skinniest, but I'm going to use this 3/8 inch here for that. These little ones are amazing. Like the little bitty guy, he's so cute. But they are just the best, the absolute best. They go on so smooth. And you just want to get a little bit of paint on your brush and offload. And I like to use my fingers to kind of give it extra support down. I never do adhesive. I've never tried adhesive. I would not go that route. Between swirling and just offloading. Offloading is key. These brushes are wonderful. It really, the stencils are so well made that it helps you not have any bleeds. You don't want to press down super you don't want to press down with your brush like super hard. You just got to very lightly just swirl it. I know some people do pounce. I'm not a pouncer. I don't like pouncing unless I'm trying to do something with like a little bit of definition or something like that. Or, well, mostly I swipe if I have really, really thin bridges. Because sometimes those thin bridges, if they're long and real thin, you have to be very careful with those. But this is, we have one in both of our bathrooms. And I love them. And like I said, I've sold a lot of them. I had one lady right before Christmas, she wanted me to make, I think it was like 10 or 15 of them a couple days before Christmas. And I just told her no. I have to start learning to say no. The Barbie crochet. Yes. Yes, I do, Pam. I'm going to give it a quick little. Yes, I agree. I think the 10 mil, I have very few of the blue ones. I know some people like them. I do not, but I have ordered them when they were on clearance. And I think once I ordered one by mistake. But I really, really like. Yeah, I remember those crochet things. And do you remember like when every bathroom, I can remember bathrooms like having carpeting, like so gross, or the carpeting that you put around the toilet, which if you have boys, that's just never, ever, ever, ever a good idea. And I'm going to do another coat here in this white. I hope this is turning out. Yeah. I didn't know if I should go with black or white. Because the gray's not like a super dark gray. And I did it pretty lightly. Because it's a transparent stain, so you can see the grain. But if you add more, it gets darker. It can get to like a solid stain. I don't use stain that often. I do like them on certain things. I do like them on these boxes. Staining is quicker than painting something, especially when you use those. I don't know if they have a name or not, but they are like, I just can't believe I'm so jealous, April and Judy, that you guys have much nicer weather than me and you're in Ohio. That's a big difference. It's we're seeing just a little bit like a snowflake here and there, not enough to even do anything. My son went back to California today. I'm so sad. We took him to the airport this morning. He's been here since Wednesday. It was a really nice visit. We had a little family. We had a chili cook-off on Sunday of the Super Bowl. But we had it early enough that people could go home and watch the Super Bowl because most of us are old and we want to be home at a certain time. But it was a nice weekend and it was a beautiful, beautiful. Freezing in Michigan, I believe it, because if it's cold here, Pam, it's colder where you are, I'm sure. But yeah, we had a really nice weekend, really nice week. My grandsons are so sad that he went home because they just, you know, they're at a certain age. They just idolize Uncle Josh. Okay. No, I don't think it's going to last. Okay, look how cute that is. So we've got one side of our box done. Text me if you run out of TP. I know you're on your phone. And then I am going to flip it over. I should probably give it a little dry before I flip it. It's supposed to be really cold Friday. That's no fun. I don't like the cold. Not a fan. And then I'm going to flip it over, and I am going to do nice butt on the other one. I think that's just a funny one. And there's other ones within this group of stencils that you can, we have my dad's cousins are coming over. I'm having them over for like a lunch next Monday, and I think I'll have this side out for them. I think they'll get a kick out of it. They're, you know, they're like his age or in their 80s, or they might not. I don't know. Not everybody has the same sense of humor I do. But, you know, if you just look through April's stencils, there's so many, and there's just, it's just amazing, the selection. There's over 10,000. Funny, sentimental. I tend to go towards the funny ones. And hey, so is everybody in the Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith group, where we share all our Stencil Smith designs? If you haven't joined it, I'm sure everybody is. Make sure you join it. It's a wonderful group. And did you see those lilacs that April painted? They are just absolutely beautiful. She did such a beautiful job. I've got them in my cart now in the saying. I thought I already had them, but I didn't have the lilacs. I'm just going to give it a quick little... Yeah, the lilacs were beautiful. I screenshotted her notes on how to do it. Oh, yeah, Judy, I'm sorry. It seems like there's not a lot on the market here either. And if it is, it's really sitting for a while with interest rates the way they are. But I hope you find something soon. I think, are you staying with your son, I think you said? I love the funny ones. And they make wonderful gifts, the funny ones. And I'm just swirling this around here. And then we'll do our wash your hands, which I've been wanting to do this one for a long time, the wash your hands. Thank you, Leah. We appreciate that. Hi, Judy. How are you? I didn't know you were on here. So you have lots of snow coming, you said, Cindy? That means it's heading this way. Cindy is in Illinois, I think. And I'm almost positive it's Illinois. I get Illinois and Indiana. Indiana's right next to Ohio. But whatever they get, we usually get not long after. So if it's nice weather, what is the number of the lilac stencil? April, do you have the number of the lilac stencil? I know she posted it on the group, but it's in my cart, but I can't look at my cart right now. So there we go. We got nice butt. Look how cute that is. And I haven't closed my bridges. I'll go and do that later. I might close a little bit on my other sign to show you, just go over it. But so we've got this toilet box and we've got nice butt. And then on the other side, we've got text me if you run out of TP. I know you're on your phone. Now, if you're staging it, like if you had for a show or something like that. This is just the stuff I have in mind. But the stuff I really like you can get some really pretty, if you're doing it in the bathroom, I like to use like mason jars. And they fit nicely in these boxes, and like little jars that I get from, I think I might have got that from the Goodwill. And of course they always fit your nice little thing of toilet paper up there and some fragrance or something like that. But just, they look really cute when you put the little jars in them. You could get a whole bunch of mason jars if you wanted. And I love the blue ones. I think they're so pretty. Or different kind of jars from the Goodwill. So that's what we got going there. And I'm going to set that to the side. And we will do the wash your hands one, so don't go anywhere. We've got another one. But I like that, and that's nice and big, the nice butt. I think that's very funny. So we'll put that back here. No, I'll set it over here. Okay, so we're going to get our other sign here, and this is the one we did the faux frame at the beginning of the live. And this was on the 1x12 cut 20, about 20 3/4. And I've let this white dry. I did 3 coats in the middle. And find an edge here. My gosh. And I do like to pull the tape this way, away from the paint, because sometimes if you pull it that way, you can pull some of the paint up with it. Stick that over there. So just pull it kind of away from it if you can. And that gives you just a nice crisp frame. And then pull this one away. And then you have a really nice, it looks like you already have a frame on it. It's really, really easy to use. A salt box Scentsy warmer. Oh, I love anything that smells really good. I love candles. I have little diffusers. I burn them all the time out here, and I burn like the cinnamon and cloves and all that stuff. So I think I am going to give this just a little, because I did sand the edges of this before I started, but just a little. I'm going to have to sand on the edges. They're a little raised. And I can go back and distress it a little bit too if I want with the words afterwards. Just make sure you got all your dust off of there. And here is my, oh, I just love this stencil. I think it's so cute. And if you have not already done so, make sure to do that so you can be entered into the contest for the free stencil at the end of the live. We're trying to grow. I want to grow, and I want the Stencil Smith to grow. They are the most amazing stencil company out there. And I think if you're not using them, you just haven't discovered them yet, is seriously what I think. They have the best selection and the best customer service. Everything's made in the USA. And April and Pete, they just get the orders out so quickly. If there's a size that doesn't work for you, if you message April, if it doesn't look bad, you know, if it's not like too stretched or something like that, she will do that in another size that's not listed. So they are just absolutely amazing. So I am going to start on this. I wanted to do a couple colors here. I wanted to do a gray, a blue, and a black. Yes, the shipping is just amazing. Pretty much, you know, like today it's late here, so it's already, by the time I'm done. Did I take, oh, I wonder if I took the thing off here. I hope I did. Well, you know what? I'm just going to use my brush from here. I think I forgot to take, I did the silver thing. I don't know if you can see it, but I forgot to take the seal off there. That's why it's not coming out. I just switched over to a couple different ones, but this is a real pretty blue from Fusion Mineral. This is called Seaside. So I'm going to get a brush here, and I wanted to do a couple of the words in this pretty blue and just have it pop a little bit. Trying to see what size I want. Okay, that might be too big. There we go, that's better. I'm gonna get the 1/2 inch here. And I am going to do, so I'm just gonna get it out of my cap here, because after the live, I'll take my little silver foil off. I forgot to do that. And I'm offloading here, and I just want to highlight a couple of words in this blue. And one of them is going to be and. I have kind of a little chart here I'm looking at. Otherwise, I'd forget. I figured it out in my head earlier. And I want to do this and down here in the blue. And I want to do Jesus in this real pretty blue. And it's just an absolutely beautiful blue. I never met a blue I don't think that I didn't like, because blue's my favorite color. But this is one of my favorite shades right here, this Seaside. It's really pretty. So I'm going to do those. And I will get, I want to do the other words in black and gray. So I'm going to get some of this coal I already have over here on a plate. And I'm just dipping my brush. And if you are new, we just want a little bit on the brush. We don't want the whole brush dipped in, just the tip, and offload. And you can offload on a shop towel, a paper towel. You can offload on this craft paper, a paper plate, coffee filter. There's lots of different things you can offload on. And again, I always try to put my fingers down like that to kind of give it a little bit of extra support. I find it helps hold it in place a little better. And this coal that I'm stenciling this in is the same color that I painted the frame in. And I'm offloading. And offloading is key. And even if you do everything right, sometimes you'll still have a bleed. It happens. I wouldn't stress over it. Let's see, I want say your prayers. I don't have enough black on there. Does anybody have plans, or do they celebrate Valentine's Day? We do not, outside of giving my grandkids like their little Valentine's treats, but we don't do anything. Plus, we ate out a lot while my son was here, because we were seeing people, and of course he likes to eat healthy, so we were going to like sushi and stuff like that. That's a good idea, Carol. I say that I'm going to do that, and I even have a book where I could keep the colors and everything, the sign, what size I used, all that stuff. And I should do it because I forget. And then you don't have to go digging through your pictures and trying to figure out, well, what blue did I use here? Or what technique? And I really got to be better about that. Let's see, this is soapstone. So this is a pretty dark gray. I'm going to do the other words in this. And I usually don't do a ton of different colors with my wording. But I thought this would be really a fun combo with this sign. I'm trying something just a little different. And the gray and black are fairly similar, but different. And then the Papa Blue, I thought, because it made me think of like water washing your hands. But then you have to figure out, well, which words do you want to highlight? Sometimes I spend more time doing that than I do stencils. These are honey bottles, Leah, off of, that's a really good idea too, Pamela. She prints the picture, then makes notes on it. That would be smart. But they are honey bottles from Amazon. You can just Google like honey bottles, depending what size you want. These are the smaller ones. I needed a little bit bigger ones, but I didn't get them. I think these are like the 12-ounce ones, and I needed a little bit bigger than that because of my paint size. So I'm going to go back and do the blue because this is going to be dry. Yeah. So you're using so little paint that by the time you go back to your, and you could put any paint in here. I put my Fusion Mineral in here. Some people buy the little paint samples from like Home Depot, or they get them from Sherwin-Williams or stuff like that, or even like the Waverly paint. They come in those big jars at Walmart. You could put in there. I don't know if Dixie Belle would work very well. I've never put Dixie Belle in a squeeze bottle, but I feel like it's so thick that I don't know that it would work really well. Dixie Belle has some fun and pretty colors too. So let's just... So have a lot of you made... Oh, that makes sense. Yeah, Dixie Belle gets clogged, Pam says. That makes a lot of sense. I know Pamela said she made the bathroom boxes and they sell really good for her. Have a lot of you made the bathroom boxes? I made quite a few. And they are good sellers. And like I said, the design you have for your bathroom box, you could turn around and make a little centerpiece for a table too. I love the font on this and the way the and is made. I think it's so pretty. And that's another thing. April has some of the most beautiful font on her stencils. They're so pretty. You know, of course, the skinny letters are fun. But just all the different fonts. And when you mix fonts together on a sign, it makes it look that much more appealing. The different kind of fonts. Sherry puts her chalk paints on those. Do you use like Waverly? Is that what you use? Because Pam said Dixie Belle gets clogged, which I would believe because that is a very thick paint. It is really, really thick. I may have to do 3 coats of this coal, which is unusual. I've got my paints everywhere. We're finally going to get, we took a break while my son was here working on the laundry room, but now we're going to go and get some cupboards, pick out some cupboards to put in there. Not a huge amount, a couple base, a couple overhand ones, but I can get my paints back in the laundry room and organized. I've got them in boxes all over the garage. At least I don't have my washer and dryer in the garage anymore. I can do laundry. I can wash my stencils. I hadn't washed my stencils in a couple weeks. I'd washed my brushes, but they just, especially the bigger ones, didn't feel really good in my kitchen sink. And I don't have a bathtub. We just have showers. So, So they were sitting there. I don't like my stencils to sit dirty. I usually wash them as soon as I'm done. I know some people don't, but that's just me. That's my personality. Oh, you use a little distilled water. That's good to know, Vicki. Thank you. No, that is another. Judy brought up an excellent point. Pete and April, the owners of the Stencil Smith, and I believe that they've been in business longer than anybody. Their stencils are always in stock. Always. Ooh, I hope I offloaded enough. They're never out of stock. When you order them, they cut them to order. And if she can, they are not open on the weekends, but if they can get it out the day the order comes in, they do. Of course, if it's late, like today, if you place an order, it wouldn't go out until tomorrow. But I mean, lots of times, if you order something, you'll get an email within an hour or something being like, here's your tracking number. And you get them in a couple days. And even their brushes, everything is made in the USA. I think this is going to be a fun color combo. You could just do it in black and white. You could do it in anything you want. When I mix a lot of colors, I do struggle. And then sometimes I will go on Pinterest and I'll type the sign in and I'll look at lots of different color combinations. That helps me too. The beautiful blue color, is Seaside from Fusion Mineral. So I think I'm going to have to put one more coat of black up here. And I'm going to give it a little dry because I feel like maybe that's why it's being difficult. But I thought that we did coffee last week. We did, so we're doing this next week. I feel like we need to maybe do laundry stuff in the future. I don't know, some fun stuff. There's so many to choose from. That's the problem when you go to choose. And of course, maybe some more spring things. Okay, let's get my black. And you don't have to, if you're just new to stenciling or you just, whatever, you don't have to use Fusion Mineral paint. It's what I like to use. You use what works for you. I have other paints that I use. I don't just use Fusion Mineral. I mainly use Fusion Mineral, but I have some Dixie Bells. Apple Barrel is good for shading. It's very thin though, so it's not as good for stenciling. You want a thicker bodied paint for stenciling. Okay, I think I have enough paint. Oh, I like that. Okay, here we go. The big reveal. I love the reveal. What do you think? With the just a little bit of gray, the black, the darker blue. Do you like that? I don't know if you can even differentiate between the gray. You can in person, but it's a little hard. But I think it's fun when you do a couple different colors. I don't do it a lot, but I like to. So I'll just show you how to close a bridge real quick in case there's any newbies. And the bridges are the little place where the stencil is held together. So like on the A, that right there, that's a little bridge. And so it makes a mark, but like right here, and black is the easiest of all colors. But you just take a nice liner brush and just fill those little bridges in. And I think it makes a difference. You don't have to do this. I like to do it. You know, I tell everybody, and it's the truth, I sold just as many signs before I started closing bridges. But once I started doing it, I really enjoy it. And to me, like if you're somewhere and you're set up selling your signs, stuff like that can make a difference. The little details can make a huge difference in your product. But it's super easy to do. You can do it on, practice it on paper or cardboard or something like that first. But I just showed you just one little line there. I'll do the rest of them after the live. But as you can see, like the because, so I closed all the bridges on that. And then you can see like with the prayers, like the A is open, the R is open. So you don't have to do that, but it is fun to do it. And wash your off balance. That's not good. It's all that cereal you eat, Pam. You need to eat something besides cereal. I feel that would give you better balance. So today what we did was we did this. The wash your hands and say your prayers because Jesus and germs are everywhere. We did a faux frame on it. And this is on sale today and tomorrow for 20% off. I use the medium. And you can save an additional 15% with my code SIGNSHACK, S-I-G-N-S-H-A, or, oh my gosh, S-H-A-C-K. I had a brain block. So we did that one, and I'll set that right over there. And then we did the toilet topper box with the nice butt. And it's just a simple box. And then text me if you run out of TP. I know you're on your phone. And then there are other options in this group of, the 7140 that's on sale. There's the Hello Sweet Cheeks, the 5-star rating. There's a couple different ones. So those are our projects for today. And let me just show you, oh, if you have not yet, excuse me, while I'm going over some of the new stencils that I just received. This is the giveaway today. So if you haven't, make sure you comment sprinkled in the comments. And to sprinkle means to do this, and you will be entered. Thank you, Judy. You'll be entered into the contest. And we'll draw a winner at the end. And let me just show you a couple things here. I did show you, I was making a sign with this one. I haven't finished it yet, but focus, aim, flush, you know, for bathroom decor, which is very funny for a little boy's bathroom, especially. Thank you, Judy. You're so sweet. I appreciate everybody. Thank you, Bev, that joins in and supports me and supports the Stencil Smith. You're all just the greatest. So this is a cute one. Hey, diddle diddle, aim for the middle. That's another great one for like a little boy's bathroom. You can tell I have grandsons. And then I've got these in a couple different sizes. Wash your hands. Just like that. And I like, you know, like something like this, you could put like the handprints on either end. You could make this wash your hands. You could do this as well, even though it's not like a typical skinny. You could put that on a box as well, easily. You just rearrange the way the stencil is. So let me set this aside. So those ones, and these are all like under bathroom stuff in the search bar. And then I'll show you a couple of the new ones that I got. St. Patrick's Day is coming up fairly soon. So I thought this is a cute mini. Irish today, hungover tomorrow, because it seems like everybody's Irish on St. Patrick's Day. Even if you're not, you're Irish. And then Valentine's Day, which, by the way, happy Valentine's Day, is tomorrow. This is really beautiful. And there's a shamrock one too. These are the hearts. You could use just the hearts, but then this is the overlay. And it was really cute. Judy Mantle on the Paint and Share, she posted a really cool one where she did hearts, and she did them in the Chiefs colors because I think it was the Chiefs colors, and she's a Chiefs fan. So, and she loves football. So that was a different take on it too. So it's not necessarily just like for Valentine's Day, but it was really cute. So that's a really cute one, and that's a newer one. And then the little bunny guys, I hope to make some bunnies here in the next week or so. But the little bunny faces, just like we have the little ghost faces, the monster faces. These are so cute. Look at their little noses, how cute they are. They're just darling. And then this one is really cute. I love a bunny butt, you know, with the little fuzzy tail. This has the overlay, Hello Spring, which you could get the bunny for Easter, but you could also use the Hello Spring somewhere else. But this is really cute. I love the little pads of the feet and the little butt. You can put, I have one I'm doing hopefully in the next day or two, and I'm going to put like a little cotton thing for the bunny butt. Little cotton, not cotton ball, but, and then these are so cute. Just the little bunnies with the little, I just love the little, little tail. These are all Easter ones. I think all the rest are Easter ones. And this guy is super cute. Okay, yeah. Okay, so springtime. And I saw, I can't remember who it was, but I don't know if it was Vicky. Somebody cut this out. I think this is the one they cut out on the scroll saw. And it was adorable. And then this is the overlays. So then you have your bunny and you have your first overlay. And then you can put plaid on it, but you don't have to. But you did it, Vicki. I thought you did. It was so cute. If you haven't seen it, just go on Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith. Like put Vicki in the search, and she did. It was Vicki, yeah. And she cut it out on the scroll saw, and it was just because all these stencils you can use as patterns too for the scroll saw, and just trace it on a piece of wood and you can cut it out. And this is my absolute favorite. I just love this guy. I hope I have time to make him, but he is so cute. Look at this. He is the coolest bunny ever. And this song will be stuck in your head the rest of the day, but the hip hop goes up here on the sunglasses. Plus, those sunglasses, you could use them elsewhere too. Are they not the cutest little sunglasses? I love this one. And April had put up, to put it like on a bag, for your little grandkids or your kids. I guess I assume everybody's a grandma like me, or a Nana or whatever you are. But this is really cute. But this would be cute on little bags, I think. I think it'd be just a cute bag to carry for yourself because he's just so cute. So those are the stencils that I showed today. These are not on sale, but those are just some new ones that I've gotten. This is what is going to be the giveaway today. So you never know what you have until it's gone. Toilet paper, for instance. So if you have not, here is your last chance to sprinkle and comment, write sprinkle in the comments, which means to do this right there. And we will pick a winner with our little Wheel of Fortune thing. Oh, thank you, Bonnie. I appreciate that. Sometimes I'm always glad when I get new ones because I never... Thank you, Debbie. We'll make sure you're added. April will add you to it. I know. April's are the cutest. I put them in my shopping cart. I take them out. I put them in. I'm like, okay, I have to make a deal. Oh, thank you, Pam, so much for being here. I appreciate it always. I appreciate all of you. You guys are so great. Yes, the freebies we get with the orders, they're so cute. And Kathy Lynn Baird, hi, Debbie from Oklahoma. If you have not watched from the beginning, you can go back on the replay and you can watch it, but welcome. And not now, but after the live, make sure that you follow the Stencil Smith and follow me at the Shard and Sign Shack, and make sure to join Paint and Share with the Stencil Smith. There's so many talented painters on there, and you get so many ideas. And I will say it's addicting, because you will be like, now I have to have that stencil. I will warn you, that is a problem. Excuse me. You're welcome. We're glad to have you. And we do have lives every Tuesday at 4 p.m. EST. You're probably like on maybe Mountain Time in Oklahoma. You're right, Judy. Did you get your, thank you, Cindy. Thank you for being here. Did you get your craft supplies yet, Judy? Did they show up? Judy just moved from California to Ohio. Here comes Sherry's drums. Central, okay, so Central. So you're just an hour. Then it's like, it's 5 here, so you're like 4 there. Yeah, Stephanie, it is. CST. Where do I sell my things? I mostly sell my things. I have just clients that I've had for years, and they order things from me a lot, and I'm very lucky that I have that. I don't do a booth. I do have a place that wants me to put my stuff in their store, so I have to go talk to them. There was another place that did not work out, but there's another place close to me that she wants to put all my stuff in her. She has a jewelry store, and she wants to display my stuff in her windows and in her store to add different things in it. So, oh, hello, Danielle. Well, we're glad you could join us. We appreciate that. If you get a sprinkle in real quick, this is the giveaway. Right there. It's super cute. I don't know. I don't think she's drawn it yet. Oh, thank you, Sherry. That was our live last week. We did that, and I did a K-Cup box last week. My dad claimed it right away. He saw it, and he's like, that's mine. So, so that was his. So I didn't even get a chance to sell that one. April is spinning the wheel. Mountain in Idaho. I'm Eastern. Thank you, Danielle. We appreciate that. One more time. Sherry's like, okay, these drumsticks, it's getting hard. Yeah, the cake, it stored like a lot of K-Cups too. April is spinning the wheel. It landed on Miss Judy Mantle. Congratulations, Judy. You are the winner, and I know you know how to get a hold of April. So you need to message her or on Facebook, or you can email her. I'm sorry, my throat is so dry from all the talking. But congratulations, Judy. I know you know how to get a hold of April. And we will see you next week. We'll have another great project next week. Tuesday at 4 p.m. And I appreciate everybody so much for being here. Thank you so much. We appreciate it. And you have a great day. Bye-bye.